I'd been in Oak Hollow for 6 months, me and my 8-year-old Riley, carving out a life in a beige duplex on the edge of this manicured suburban maze. It's one of those places where every lawn's trimmed to the millimeter, and the mailboxes all match $150 a year to the HOA for the privilege of living under their microscope. I'm a nurse, pulling doubles at the county hospital, so I don't have time for block parties or kissing up to the clipboard brigade. When the HOA's voluntary social club invite came, $50 a month for potlucks and gossip, I trashed it. Riley's braces and my car payment don't care about Linda Grayson's famous deviled eggs. Big mistake, apparently. It started small. A week after I skipped their welcome barbecue, a neon orange notice slapped my door. Grass exceeds 3.5 inches, $25 fine. Remedy by 9:15 or further action. I blinked at it, coffee going cold in my hand. My lawn was scruffy, sure, I'd been on a 12-hour shift when the mower broke, but 3.5 inches. I grabbed Riley's ruler and measured. 3.2 inches tops. The bylaws, a 40-page beast I'd skimmed when I signed the lease, said 4 inches max. I scribbled a polite appeal, "Hey, it's under the limit, can we talk?" and dropped it in the HOA mailbox by the community pool. 2 days later, another notice. Appeal denied. Fine stands. Pay by 9:20. No explanation, just Linda's spidery signature and a smug little smiley face. I paid it. $25 wasn't worth the fight, but it left a sour taste. Riley noticed me packing, asked if we were in trouble. "Just grown-up nonsense, kiddo," I said, ruffling his hair. But it wasn't nonsense, it was personal. The next week, a new fine hit. Unapproved window curtains, $50. Replace with neutral tones per guidelines. My curtains were blue, cheap ones from Walmart, but the bylaws only said no exterior banners or flags. I checked twice. No rule about curtain colors. I called the HOA line, got voicemail, left a message. "This isn't in the rules. Call me back." Crickets. The fine doubled to $100 when I didn't pay by Friday. By then I was livid. I'm not rich, every dollar's accounted for, and these vultures were bleeding me over lies. I stormed to the HOA office, a converted shed behind Linda's McMansion, Riley's old toy wagon rattling with my copy of the bylaws and a stack of receipts. Linda was there, mid-50s, pearls tight around her neck, sipping tea like a queen. Her VP, call me Carl, Jenkins, lounged in a lawn chair, guts spilling over his khakis. The treasurer, Marla Tate, pecked at a calculator, her glasses fogged with judgment. "Kelly," Linda chirped, my name dripping with syrup, "what's the fuss?" I slapped the fines on the table. "These, grass under spec, curtains not even mentioned, where's this coming from?" Carl chuckled, a wet grating sound. "Rules evolve, hun, community standards." I flipped the bylaws open, stabbing page 12. "Show me evolving curtains. This says 4 inches for grass, I measured 3.2. Linda's smile tightened. "We updated the guidelines, mailed M last month." I stared. "I got no mail." Marla piped up, voice nasal. "Certified, signed for." She slid me a photocopy, my address, a scrawl that wasn't mine. Forged or a flat-out lie? "That's not my signature," I snapped. "You're making shit up." Linda gasped, pearls clutched, but Carl leaned in, breath sour with coffee. "Watch the tone. We've got discretion, page 38, board reserves right to enforce aesthetics. Pay or appeal again, your call." I wanted to flip the table, but Riley's braces flashed in my mind. I stormed out, $100 lighter after writing a check, vowing to fight later. Back home, I dug through my mail, bills, junk, no HOA update. They were gaslighting me, and it worked. The next hit came Saturday. Riley was at soccer and I was scrubbing dishes when a tow truck rumbled up. My car, my beat-up Corolla parked in my own driveway, got hooked. I ran out, still in slippers, shouting, "What the hell?" The driver, a bored kid with a vape, waved a paper. "HOA order, unapproved vehicle storage. $75 tow fee, $25 fine." I snatched it. Bylaw 22, no vehicles over 10 years old parked visibly. My Corolla's 12, but it's my driveway, private property. The kid shrugged. Take it up with them. Lot on Pine Street. $100 to get it back, cash I didn't have till payday. I called Linda, got voicemail again. This is illegal, my driveway, my car, stop this. No reply. Riley came home, saw me crying, and hugged me silent. That night I scoured the bylaws, nothing about updates without a vote, nothing about forging signatures or towing from driveways. Online, Oak Hollow's HOA forum was a ghost town, locked posts, no complaints. But a DM slid in from Okanon. They're targeting you, check your basement, quietly. Basement. My duplex had one, locked, landlord managed. What now? Sunday I borrowed a neighbor's bolt cutters, Tom, a grizzled vet who nodded knowingly when I vented. HOA's crooked, he'd muttered. Watch your back. The basement door creaked open, dank air hitting me. My flashlight caught rows of boxes unmarked, stacked tight. One was open, files, photos, a ledger. I flipped it, my name, fines listed, but totals tripled what I'd paid. A note in Carl's chicken scratch. Phase 1, push her out. Push me out. Photos showed my car, my curtains, Riley kicking his ball, dated months back. They'd been watching me. I snapped pics, hands shaking, and locked it back. The HOA wasn't just petty, they were hunting me, and those fines were a weapon. My phone buzzed, Oak and on. More in the shed, be fast. The shed, their office. Whatever they were hiding, it was bigger than me, and I was too pissed to stop now. Riley was asleep, his soft snores cutting through the hum of the fridge when I decided to hit back. The basement files burned in my mind, my name, those inflated fines, Carl's scrawl. Phase 1, push her out. The HOA wasn't just nickel and diming me. They wanted me gone, and those photos of Riley kicking his ball in our yard meant they'd been stalking us for months. My blood boiled. I'd skipped their stupid social club, and now I was a target. Screw that. Okanon, DM, more in the shed, be fast. Was a dare I couldn't ignore. Their office shed was my next stop, and I'd be damned if I let Linda's pearls or Carl's gut stop me. It was past midnight, Oak Hollow silent under a fat moon. I grabbed Tom's bolt cutters, a flashlight, and my phone, camera ready, battery at 80%. The shed sat behind Linda's house, a squat shadow flanked by her pristine rose bushes. I'd seen her waddle out of it daily, clipboard in hand, like some dictator of suburbia. My slippers squished on wet grass as I crept across backyards, dodging motion lights. Tom's place was dark. He'd offered to watch Riley if I needed a lookout, but I couldn't drag him in yet. This was my fight. The shed's lock was a joke, rusted, dangling like an afterthought. One snip and it clattered to the dirt. I froze, breath held, but Linda's curtain stayed shut. Inside, the air was thick with mildew and toner, a single bulb flickering over a desk piled with files. A corkboard loomed, photos pinned like a hit list. My Corolla, Tom's rusty truck, Mrs. Perez's unapproved porch swing. Mine had a red X slashed across it. My chest tightened. I rifled the desk, meeting minutes, fine logs, a ledger matching the basement's. My fines totaled $750, not the $125 I'd paid. A sticky note fluttered free. K.M. Escalate to Phase 2. Club refusal noted. K.M. Kelly Marshall. Bastards. Then I hit gold, a locked drawer. The bolt cutters made quick work, and inside was a jackpot, a thick envelope marked Oak Hollow Reserve Fund. I tore it open, bank statements, deposit slips, checks cashed out to L. Grayson and C. Jenkins. Thousands, $12,000 one month, $8,500 the next, siphoned from HOA dues. My $25 grass fine was peanuts. This was a scam. A memo clipped to it read, relocate non-members, Lot 14 priority. Lot 14, my duplex. They weren't just pushing me out, they were funding it with everyone's money. I snapped photos, hands trembling when a shadow flicked across the shed's window. My flashlight died, perfect timing, and I ducked behind the desk, pulse hammering. Footsteps crunched outside, slow, deliberate. Carl's wheezy cough gave him away. The door creaked open, his silhouette filling the frame, a flashlight beam slicing the dark. "Who's there?" he growled, voice thick with sleep and beer. I held my breath, clutching the envelope. He stepped in, beam missing me by inches, and muttered, "Damn kids," before lumbering out. I waited 5 agonizing minutes, then bolted, evidence stuffed in my hoodie. Back home, I locked every door, dumped the haul on the kitchen table, and stared at it. They were embezzling, fining me into oblivion to bankroll their scheme, all because I wouldn't join their clique. Rage simmered, but fear crept in too. Carl had been close, too close. My phone buzzed, Okanon. "Find it," I typed back. "Yes, money laundering. Lot 14's next." "Who are you?" No reply. I uploaded the pics to a cloud drive, emailed Tom a backup. "If I disappear, show the cops," and crashed, dreaming of Linda's smug face behind bars. Morning hit with a vengeance. Riley wolfed down cereal while I chugged coffee, still wired. Then the mail slot clattered, an orange notice. Unauthorized shed entry, $200 fine. Security footage confirms violation. My stomach dropped. Footage, I hadn't seen cameras. The fine was dated 3 a.m., hours after I'd slipped out. They knew. I called Tom, voice shaking. "They've got me on tape, shed job," he cursed. "No cams there last week, I'd have seen M. They're bluffing or fast." Bluff or not, $200 was groceries, gas, money I didn't have. I marched to the shed again, daylight boldness fueled by fury. Linda was pruning roses, Carl hosing his truck, Marla sipping lemonade on her porch, too casual, like they'd rehearsed it. "Linda," I barked, waving the fine. "Shed entry, prove it." She smirked, shears snipping. "Check your email, sent the clip." Carl grinned, hose dripping. "Should have paid the club dues, hun, keeps things friendly." My inbox had a video, grainy, me in my hoodie, bolt cutters glinting. Timestamp 12:47. My knees buckled. They'd wired the shed since my last peek, or staged it. I stormed off, dialing the HOA line, voicemail again. "This is harassment, fake rules, fake footage. I've got proof you're stealing." Silence. Riley's school bus honked and I waved him off, dread pooling. Back home, my car was back towed again, parked crooked, a new fine taped to the windshield. "Repeat parking violation, $150. I screamed, neighbors peeking through blinds. The bylaws said nothing about repeat towing, just their discretion. My bank app showed $300 left. Fines were gutting me, and they knew it. Tom knocked, grim. "Saw the tow, they're bleeding you dry." I showed him the ledger pics. "It's bigger, lot 14's a target, they're flushing me out." He frowned. "Lot 14's prime, backs the woods, big resale, bet they want it." Resale. My lease was month to month, evict me, flip it, pocket the cash. My phone pinged, Okanon, "They've done it before. Basement's got names. Tonight, meet me." Meet? Risky, but I was cornered. Dusk fell, Riley at a friend. I grabbed a flashlight, the envelope, and headed to Tom's. "Cover me, I'm meeting them." He nodded, shotgun by his door. The basement door loomed and a shadow waited, hooded, small. "Kelly," a woman whispered. Before I could answer, headlights flared, Carl's truck roaring close. She bolted and I dove behind bins, heart in my throat. Carl's truck roared past, tires spitting gravel as I crouched behind the basement bins, the hooded woman's footsteps fading into the dark. My flashlight trembled in my hand, its beam catching the glint of those damn boxes, files that held my name, my fines, and God knows what else. Okanon's whisper, "Kelly," hung in the air, cut off by that bastard's headlights. She'd bolted, leaving me with a half glimpse of her small frame and a promise. "They've done it before. Basement's got names." My chest burned, rage at the HOA, fear of being caught, an annoying need to know who she was. Carl's engine faded, but I stayed low, waiting, the night thick with crickets and my own ragged breathing. Tom's silhouette loomed at his back door, shotgun a dark slash against the porch light. "You good?" he hissed. I scrambled up, brushing dirt off my jeans. Barely. She ran. Carl spooked her, he cursed low. They're circling you like vultures. What'd she say? I clutched the envelope from the shed, proof of their embezzlement, and whispered, basement's got names, past victims maybe. Tom's eyes narrowed. Then we dig, now. Riley was safe at his friend, and Carl was gone for the moment. No time to waste. The basement door creaked open again, bolt cutters still warm from my grip. The air was dank, heavier than before, like the walls were sweating secrets. I swept the flashlight over the boxes, unmarked except that one I'd cracked open. Tom hauled it to the concrete floor and we tore in. Files spilled out, names, dates, addresses. J. Torres, Lot 8, evicted 2021. Fines $1,200. M. Patel, Lot 22, relocated 2022. Fines $900. Pages of violations. Unapproved paint, lawn debris, noise complaints, petty nonsense, fines doubling, tripling until each tenant broke. My name was there too. K. Marshall, Lot 14, Phase 2 active. Fines $750. Active. They weren't done with me yet. Tom whistled low. Patterns clear, bleed M dry, force M out. Lot 14's next on the chopping block. I flipped to a ledger page, lot sales, dates matching evictions. Lot 8, $250,000, $2,021. Lot 22, $275,000, $2,022. Big payouts funneled through Oak Hollow Reserve Fund, the same account Linda and Carl were draining. My duplex wasn't just home, it was a gold mine they wanted to flip, and I was the obstacle. A photo slipped free, me, unloading groceries, Riley beside me, time-stamped 3 months ago. My stomach lurched. They've been planning this since I moved in. A noise, sharp, metallic, echoed from upstairs. Tom grabbed his shotgun, motioning me quiet. Footsteps thudded, deliberate, on my floorboards. I killed the flashlight, heart slamming. The basement door was ajar, stupid, careless. A shadow stretched down the stairs, long and warped. Carl's cough rasped, then Linda's voice clipped. She's not here, check the kids' room. They were in my house. Tom whispered, back exit now. We crept to the rear hatch. A rusty slab I'd never used, and pried it open, slipping into the yard as their boots clomped above. Outside, the woods loomed, Lot 14's edge, my supposed prime resale. Tom's truck was 2 houses down, keys with him. We bolted, mud sucking at my sneakers, and piled in. He gunned it, headlights off, coasting past Linda's roses. Her SUV idled by my place, Carl's truck beside it. Breaking in, I hissed. That's illegal, Tom snorted. So's forging fines, call the cops. My phone was at 10%. I dialed 911, breathless. Intruders, 47 Oak Lane. HOA board, I've got proof they're stealing. The operator droned, unit dispatched, but the line crackled, signal dying. We parked at Tom's, lights off, watching. Cop cars rolled in 10 minutes later, slow, like they were on a coffee run. Linda and Carl slunk out my front door, hands up, spinning some tale, Linda's pearls glinting, Carl's gut heaving. The cops waved them off, no cuffs, just nods. My jaw dropped. They're letting them go, Tom growled, bought or lazy. Your proof's gotta hit harder. I clutched the envelope and basement pics, bank slips, forged signatures, eviction lists. Enough for jail if anyone cared. Back home, the lock was jimmied, Riley's soccer trophies tipped over petty spite. A new fine waited on the counter. Unauthorized basement access $300, pay by 9:30, dated an hour ago. They'd planted it during their break-in, twisting the knife. My scream woke Riley's goldfish. I called the cops again, voicemail. Tom crashed on my couch, shotgun close, muttering, they're desperate, means you're close. Close to what? The dirty secret Okanon promised. Morning brought Riley home, wide-eyed at the mess. Mom, what's happening? I hugged him, lying, just a hiccup, bud. But the mail slot clattered, another orange slip. Failure to maintain property $250. Exterior damage reported. Damage? I ran outside, my siding scratched and gouged, fresh claw marks like a bear hit it. Carl's truck peeled out down the street, a smirk in his rear view. They trashed my house to find me more pure, petty evil. Neighbors gawked, whispering, but no one helped. My bank app showed $50 left. Fines had gutted me. Tom hauled out his toolbox. We fix it, screw their game. We patched the siding, sweat and curses, but my phone buzzed, oaken on. They're meeting tonight, shed. Bring the files, I'll show. Show what? Proof they'd bribed the cops, a way to end this. I emailed the pics to a lawyer friend, backup, then told Tom, I'm going, cover me. He nodded grim, shotguns loaded. Dusk fell, Riley at Tom's with a pizza bribe. I grabbed the envelope, flashlight, and a kitchen knife, pathetic but mine. The shed glowed, voices leaking, Linda's hiss, Carl's grunt, Marla's whine. I crept close, recording catching, lot 14's locked, escalate to 3, she's got too much. Phase 3, then a car door slammed, cop lights, no sirens. A uniform stepped out, shaking Linda's hand. My blood froze, they owned the law. A twig snapped under my foot and Carl's head whipped around. The twig snapped under my sneaker, loud as a gunshot in the still night, and Carl's head jerked toward me like a hound scenting blood. I ducked behind Linda's rose bushes, thorns snagging my hoodie, the shed's glow casting jagged shadows. My phone was still recording. Linda's voice, clipped and venomous, floated out. Lot 14's locked, escalate to 3. She's got too much. Carl grunted. Told you she'd dig. Marla whimpered. What if she talks? Then the cop, badge glinting, hand on Linda's shoulder, muttered, keep it quiet. I'll handle calls. My gut twisted. They didn't just own Oak Hollow, they owned the law. I was screwed. I clutched the envelope, bank slips, eviction lists, proof of their scam, and the kitchen knife, its dull blade a joke against this. Carl lumbered closer, flashlight beam swinging, his wheezy cough a dead giveaway. Someone's out there, he growled. Linda hissed, check it now. The cop stayed put, radio crackling, while Carl's boots crunched my way. I bolted, thorns ripping my sleeve, and sprinted for Tom's, envelope flapping. Carl shouted, hey. But I was gone, weaving through backyards, heart pounding like a war drum. Tom's porch light flickered as I stumbled in, gasping. They saw me, cops with M. He grabbed his shotgun, face hard. Knew it, bribed bastard. Riley peeked from the couch, pizza slice drooping. Mom, I forced a smile. Stay with Uncle Tom, bud, I'll be back. Tom shoved keys at me. My truck go, I'll watch him. I nodded, shoving the envelope in my bag, and peeled out, headlights off, aiming for the lawyer friend I'd emailed. Jess, 20 miles out. She'd know what to do. Halfway there, blue lights flared in my rear view. My stomach sank. The cop from the shed, stocky, smug, waved me over. I pulled to the shoulder, hands tight on the wheel, phone still at 5%, recording dying. He tapped the window, voice oily. Kelly Marshall, step out. I complied, legs jelly, bag slung over my shoulder. Problem, officer, he smirked. Trespassing, HOA property, complaint filed. Complaint, I'd been on public grass. That's a lie, I snapped. He leaned in, breath sour. Hand over what you took. Makes this easier. The envelope, he knew. I clutched my bag tighter. Took nothing, check me. Bluffing, but he hesitated, radio buzzing. Unit 12 status, he muttered, busy, then glared. Don't play cute, Linda's got eyes, you're done. Headlights flashed, Tom's truck roaring up. He leaned out, shotgun visible. She's clean, pig, back off. The cop tensed, hand on his holster, but Tom's growl held him. Try it, I've got witnesses. The cop cursed, retreating to his cruiser, peeling out with a glare that promised hell. Tom hauled me in. Riley's safe, neighbors got him, what you get? I spilled it, phase 3, the cop's handshake, their panic, he nodded. They're cornered, escalating means they're scared. We raced to Jess's, a brick ranch outside town. She was up, bleary-eyed, legal pads strewn across her table. I dumped the hall, shed files, basement lists, pics. HOA, embezzling, evicting, bribing cops. They want lot 14 me out. Jess whistled, scrolling my cloud drive. This is gold, fraud, forgery, coercion. Felonies up the chain. She typed fast, emailing a DA she knew, CCing me. Sit tight, cops are dirty here, but state'll bite. My phone died perfect but just lent me hers. A text from Tom, cops at your place, trashing it. Trashing it, I called him, voice shaking. What's he doing? Tom's growl. Tossing furniture, planting crap, fines taped everywhere. Neighbors filming, planting, framing me now, just cursed. Obstruction classic, we've got enough DAs on it. Morning broke gray and heavy. I crashed at Jess, Riley safe with Tom's neighbor. Jess's phone buzzed DA's office. Investigation opened, stay low. Low, my duplex was a war zone. Tom picked me up, Riley in tow, wide-eyed. Mom, our house, I hugged him. We'll fix it, bud. Back home, chaos, couch slashed, fines pinned to walls. Property neglect, $400. Unauthorized vehicle, $200. Lies, all lies, dated overnight. Neighbors whispered, phones out but no help, just gawkers. Tom patched the door while I swept glass, Riley clinging to me. A tow truck rumbled, my Corolla again. I ran out screaming, that's mine. The driver shrugged. HOA order, third strike. Third, I'd paid the last fee. A new fine fluttered from the windshield. Repeat offender, $500. My bank app showed $0 overdraft hit. They drained me and the tow fee was $150 I didn't have. I collapsed, sobbing, Riley patting my back. We'll be okay, Mom. 8 years old, comforting me. Fury drowned my tears. Jess called. DA's raiding the shed, your files tipped it. Cops suspended, pending. Suspended, not arrested. Linda's pearls still gleamed somewhere. Tom hauled out paint. We fixed this, screw their fines. We patched siding, defiance in every stroke, but dusk brought a knock. Marla alone, glasses fogged with nerves. Kelly, stop this, they'll ruin you. I laughed, bitter. Ruin me? They're done. DA's got M. She paled. You don't get it. Phase 3's not just fines, it's personal. Personal? Before I could grab her, headlights flared, Carl's truck, Linda's SUV, the cop's cruiser, rolling slow. Marla bolted, whimpering, and Tom cocked his shotgun. Inside now. We barricaded, Riley trembling as Carl's voice boomed. Come out, Kelly, we're settling this. Settling? My knife was useless, but the envelope, my proof, sat by Jess's email to the DA. A rock crashed through the window, a fine taped to it. Noncompliance, $1000. They were insane. Law closing in, and they doubled down. Jess's phone buzzed, DA. Warrants out, hold tight. Hold tight? Carl pounded the door, Linda's screech echoing. You should have joined the club. Tom aimed at the ceiling, warning shot ready. I hugged Riley, whispering, we're winning, bud. But the truck's engine revved and metal screeched. My Corolla rammed into the porch. Glass shattered and Carl laughed, a madman's cackle as the cop's radio crackled. Stand down, state's here. Too late, the door buckled and they were in. The door splintered under Carl's boot, shards flying as he barreled in, Linda's pearls glinting behind him like a war trophy. My Corolla's hood smoked through the shattered porch window, rammed into my home, my last shred of safety, while Riley clung to me, his small hands digging into my arm. Tom's shotgun roared, a warning shot blasting plaster from the ceiling, and Carl froze, crowbar mid-swing. Linda shrieked, You're done, Kelly. But the cop's radio crackled, stand down, state's here, and sirens wailed, close, real. The cavalry was late but coming. I clutched Jess's phone, DA's text glowing. Warrants out, hold tight. Tight wasn't an option anymore. Tom racked the shotgun, voice steady. Back off or next one's yours. Carl's gut heaved, sweat streaking his face, but Linda shoved past, claws out. You ruined us, lot 14 was ours. Ours, my duplex, their cash cow funded by stolen dues, rigged fines, and evicted lives. I shoved Riley behind me, knife trembling in my fist. Your thieves, jail's waiting. The cop hesitated, gun half-drawn, caught between Linda's glare and the sirens. Then tires screeched, state troopers, 3 cars, lights slicing the dark. Carl cursed, dropping the crowbar, and Linda's scream turned feral. Troopers stormed in, vests tight, shouting, hands up. The cop dropped his piece, palms skyward, muttering, misunderstanding. Linda lunged for me, pearls snapping, scattering like teeth, but a trooper yanked her back, cuffs clicking. Carl went limp, wheezing, we were helping the community. Helping, they trashed my life for profit. Tom lowered the gun, grinning grim. Too late, pigs. Riley peeked out, eyes wide as troopers hauled them out. Linda kicking, Carl sagging, the cops silent, badge tarnished. My porch smoked, but we'd won the fight. Jess screeched up, legal pad in hand, DA's team behind her. Kelly Files clinched it. She hugged me, Riley sandwiched between as troopers taped off the yard. The DA's sharp suit, sharper eyes scrolled my cloud drive on a tablet. Fraud, embezzlement, bribery, decades here. Your lot's the tip. Decades? I handed over the envelope, shed loot, basement lists. They forged fines, pushed tenants out, flipped lots, cops theirs. He nodded grim. He's suspended, full probe now. You're safe. Safe? The word felt hollow with my duplex a wreck. Siding gouged, car totaled, fines pinned like taunts. But the troopers carted off Linda's SUV, Carl's truck, evidence bags stuffed with shed files. Neighbors gawked, phones out, finally watching the right show. Tom clapped my shoulder. Told you crooked as hell. Riley tugged my sleeve. Mom, can we stay here? I hugged him tight. We'll see, bud. Morning broke, harsh and clear. Jess's DA pal set up shop in my kitchen, coffee brewing, laptops humming. HOA dissolved, assets seized. Fines voided, bank will refund you. Refund. My overdraft glared, but he slid a paper $5,000 first wave from their reserve fund. Not braces cash, but a start. The duplex was mine if I wanted it. Lot 14's resale value was tainted by their scam. But the lease was null, landlord MIA, wrapped in the probe. Jess grinned. Sue M. Developers HOA shell, millions in play. I called Tom, he'd crashed at his place, Riley with him. We're clear, fines gone. His laugh crackled. Damn straight, pizza tonight. Riley whooped in the background. Back home, I swept glass, patched walls with Tom's paint, Riley kicking his ball in the yard, defiant, free. Marla knocked, meek, glasses fogged. Kelly, I'm sorry, they forced me. Forced, she signed the fines. I waved her off. Tell the DA. She scurried, tail tucked, whistleblower or scapegoat, I didn't care. Okanon texted, Jess's phone, my lifeline. Glad you're safe. Extenant, Lot 8, they got me too. Lot 8 J Tours evicted 2021. I replied, thanks, you tipped it. Who? A pause, then, Jen, stay strong. Jen Tours, another victim, my shadow savior. I smiled, bitter but warm. The neighborhood buzzed, lawsuits brewing, whispers of Kelly took M down. Mrs. Perez brought tamales, Tom's vet buddy offered drywall help. Oak Hollow wasn't theirs anymore, it was ours. Weeks later, the DA's team gutted the shed. Computers, ledgers, a safe stuffed with $50,000 cash, all traced to dues. Linda Carl, the cop, indicted, bail denied. Marla turned state's evidence, spilling decades of lot flipping, fake violations, cop payoffs. The developer, some faceless LLC, settled fast. $200,000 to me, more to others, lot 14 deeds free if we stayed. I cashed it, braces, car, a cushion, and signed the deed. Riley deserved roots, not their rubble. Spring hit and we rebuilt, new siding blue, screw their rules, a porch swing, no HOA to fine it. Tom grilled burgers, Jen Tours showed, quiet, scarred, but smiling. You finished what I couldn't, she said, sipping lemonade. I shrugged. Team effort. Riley kicked his ball, neighbors waved, no dues, no tyrants. The DA called, sentences dropped. Linda got 10 years, Carl 8, cop 5. Fines reversed, accounts unfrozen. My $5,000 grew to $15,000, their reserve carved up for us. I framed the last orange notice. Unauthorized shed entry $200, above the fireplace, a trophy of their fall. Riley asked, Mom, we're heroes, right? I laughed, real for once. Yeah, bud, heroes who don't pay for grass. Tom raised his beer. To no HOAs, Jen clinked hers. To fighting back. The yard bloomed untrimmed, wild mine. Oak Hollow limped on, scarred but free, their dirty secret aired, buried under indictments and our defiance. Night fell, Riley asleep, stars sharp. I sat on the swing, Jess's email open, class action brewing, millions more possible. I didn't need it, lot 14 was home, not their prize. The street was quiet, no orange slips, no pearls or guts or sirens, just us, me, Riley, a patched-up life. The HOA was a ghost and I'd killed it. My phone buzzed, Tom, pizza tomorrow. I grinned, typing, always. The swing creaked and I breathed, finally fully free.